Hi everyone, this is Linton. Welcome to PDF, the programming, design, and on Fridays. So today we're gonna look at Framer Motion, right? So it's production-ready animation library that we can use it in our everyday coding and add it to our web projects. And we'll see, like I put it in the email that sometimes it feels like cheating when you are using it. It's just its creator has made it so easy to use, and I'm gonna show you a little bit of it. So I'm not gonna be able to show you everything about this library, but today I will focus on one particular thing that I really like is about AnimatePresence. For some reason that I put in the email title that it was called AnimateAbsence, but that's kind of the opposite side of AnimatePresence, right? But anyway, so this is roughly the stuff that we're gonna build today, and I have already sent the starter file in the chat. So if you would like to follow along with me, just grab that link and just open it, and you'll see a code sandbox, which is a starter project. Now the idea for this one is we get a grid of group members, and if we hover on the on one of the images, you see this hover effect, right? I'm not sure if it's actually visible to you in this live stream, but there is some transition. Like when you hover it on one element, you see the background actually blend into this highlight. So there's some animation there, and also if I click one of it and one of the icon there, and it's gonna remove the rest of it. Basically, I'm gonna show you rather than just tell you, right? So that's kind of the effect that we are gonna build. I'll show you again. For example, if we click this guy, you see all the transition, right? Make it pretty smooth. And I'll show you again. Just take notice on the not just the item that I clicked, but all the other elements. It's gonna fade out, and then there's some staggering animation over there when they fade out. And also this particular item is gonna move to its position, and also this title, it's gonna move from outside as well. That because it's actually scrolled out of the range. So take a moment, think about how you would want to implement this normally. There's actually a lot of moving pieces, and this is not a super simple animation to achieve. Actually, if we use traditional ways of try to remember the position of each item and try to move it to the correct places or whatever. So it's gonna take quite a bit of work actually. But with Framer Motion, it will be relatively easy. But of course, there's something to take notice before to make it work. But that's the reason why I'm doing this today. Okay, so by the way, I adapted this code base, this example from somebody who actually sent me an email asking me to explain something. So I just adapted his code base to save myself some time. Okay, so now this is the starter file that you will be able to see in that code sandbox. And let me just quickly go over what's in there. I think the index file is over there. This is the app. App only renders to a team component. And go ahead to this team component, which is the main thing that we're gonna work on today. First of all, if we go over to this team component, it returns a bunch of HTML, right? So this is the title, the description, and over here line number 96, this is the grid. that we're seeing right here. This is grid, and its elements come from this members array. So over here, line number 69. So this block is where we get this members array of divs, and the data comes from some mock data that I put it in over here on the top. Okay. Now the first step is actually we want to. This is not really framer motion, but we want to remove all the rest of the stuff when we click on something, right? So that's maybe something that we're gonna do first. Oh, maybe we'll do that a bit later. But let's just add animations, right? The purpose for you to actually come here to it is to see the animations. So let's first add a framer motion library over here, dependencies. We're gonna add this dependency framer motion. The current version, the latest version is 2.6.5. So unable to fork. What does that mean? Hopefully I still remember the password. Okay. Anyway, let's add this. So now it's added 2.6.5, and if you used the framer motion a while ago, so this version 2 is actually quite it introduces some breaking changes compared to version 1, and that's one of the changes is that like this. I'll tell you a bit later, but the majority of the things is remains the same actually. But okay, now I have already added to the dependencies, and let's just import it. And the most notable thing that we want to import from framer motion is over here, motion, right? So this motion, what is going on? Okay, so this motion is something that we're gonna use all over the place actually. So the first step to use framer motion to add animation is to convert our tags to motion tags, right? So now let's add this like hover, like this hover effect, this one, right? Which is pretty easy actually. So the first we're gonna find the container. This is a container of this whole thing, and then we're gonna convert this div to motion div. That'll effectively turn this element into motion component that we can animate. And it actually works for all the other standard HTML tags as well. Can do image p, and we can actually add this motion dot as a prefix. Now let's add the hover, right? So we can add this while hover, and that's a new prop which is available on all motion elements. And the value is an object. I actually forget what we want. I think there are, yeah. So basically, what we can put here is like the CSS properties that we can set on each particular item. For example, if we want to animate its background color. Background color. Let's just use a random number now. Okay, let's see if that works. What is wrong with that? I think it's working. Yeah, it's working, right? You see, when I move it over there, and this property is actually pretty smart. So it'll animate that particular item when I hover my mouse on that item, or if I move my cursor out of this out of the boundary of this object, it's gonna reset it to back to the original, right? So it's very easy to add this hover image hover animation, and of course you can do so with CSS, but this is another way of doing it. Let's say for the color, I want to make it FFF. Yeah, did it work? That did not work. I need to refresh it. Everything becomes quite slow now. Okay, that works, right? Okay, there's actually one thing that I noticed in the original code is that if we set this color to be white instead of this color code, we're gonna actually get some warning. I think some warnings right here. Not sure why it's so slow now. Yeah, okay. Here comes the warning. We're trying to animate color from this RGB color to this this named color. So I think that's one of the limitation of framer motion, is that you only want to animate between like kind of same color space. Is that what it's called? Basically, it's the same way that you want to represent color. If you use name colors, you always use name colors. If you use this color code, and you'll keep using that. So with that should fix the problem and no more warning. So this is step number 1, right? So this is while hover. The second step is to actually we want to use AnimatePresence to animate like everything right here. So when we click on the item, we should remove all the rest of the items, and then only leave this one, the selected one over there. So how to do that? First step, we need to actually remove that item from the list. So this is what I'm gonna do. Basically, if we can see it here, line number 68. We have a state here. So like I said, I have been lazy. I just directly use the code. Okay, so this is a state team highlight. Whenever we select an item, we're gonna set the name as the currently highlighted team member, right? So by default, nothing is showed up here. By default, there's nobody's highlighted. But if I click this guy, and this guy is going to be highlighted, and we're going to see that in the state. Now the question is, how do we only show the item when it's clicked, right? So we can actually do it here. So we can do it here, like if the team highlight. I'll just copy everything. Not sure why it's so slow. Team highlight. If it is null, we're gonna show everything, right? Otherwise, if it's not null, we're gonna only. Maybe let's just do it this way. If it's not null, and if this team highlight, the name of the highlighted person equal to the current item. If that condition if that condition holds, and actually this is not the correct, maybe this becomes a bit confusing, but I'll explain soon. But why this? Okay, is working? Yeah, that actually works. So basically, this list, the list of members, if this team highlight is null, which means we want to show all the team members, we're gonna just basically according to this whatever available in this data array, we're gonna just convert them into those tags. Or if this team highlight is actually equal to something, if it's equal to the current item, we're gonna grab that as a current item. Otherwise, we're gonna just show it as null. So there's only one item available, and let's test a few to see if it actually works. And that only that item is available, right? Okay. Yeah, I think there could be a better way to write it, but this is just you know, the easiest way to make this firmware motion demo. But now what we want to do is to actually animate right now it's just like it just instantly hide all the other stuff, right? We want to animate that instead of instantly hiding it. So what we can do here is to import another AnimatePresence. This is a component that I wanted to use, and use that to wrap this list of members. AnimatePresence. AnimatePresence. Save. Okay, now what is going is that we actually add this to wrap all. This is going to be a list of members, right? So it's either the full list of everybody or just that single person we just selected from the list. So now let's see what. Is there anything? It's not working. Oh, that's nice. Why it's not working? Let's remove that for now. Grab it. Okay, it's not working. Or is it working? No, it's not working. Okay, let's see what's going on here. It's not working because probably I didn't set something there. Okay, so let's do this. Add this animate prop, and again I will explain after I finish this, after I actually make it work. And exit. Opacity 0. Is it working? Oh, what is going on? weird. It's actually working. For some reason, it was just reusing the previous state or something. Yeah, it's working. Okay. Phew. Okay. Now, let me explain. So why is that? Is these two properties are actually pretty important in terms of using that animate absence. So this animate prop is the kind of state that you want to describe that when this item becomes available in the list. So you want to animate that its opacity to 1. And its exit is when that item is removed, you want to animate its opacity to 0. So that's why we see this fading out. You see rest of item, they faded out, right? Instead of not working at all, but now the rest of item faded out. Okay. Now I think the other effect is that we want to add some, want to make those like right now all the items they just fade out all at once, right? We want to make it kind of staggering. The reason the way to do that is to actually customize this exit animation by this transition property, whose value is an object. Then we can say delay. Let's just use a random number here. The unit is second, so make it like that. I think that, let's see, let's show a few more. Yeah, it's probably not ideal, but it's sort of this idea, right? Random number. Okay, so that's AnimatePresence. That's pretty much the code what we need to implement this one. So basically, if you have a list, you have some code to let the user interactively add or remove stuff into the list or from the list, and you can just add this, just wrap that item with this AnimatePresence to animate the transition. And the one thing to note is that you want to add the list right here, just as an intermediate children of this AnimatePresence, or else it won't work. Like if you animate, if you wrap it, if we put it here, I don't think it's going to work. But let's just try it. I don't think it's gonna work. So if you do that, and yeah, there's no animation whatsoever anymore. Okay, let's restore that. Where is it? Okay. Yeah, things slow. Maybe next time I should use a local environment instead of a code sandbox. Now there's another one that we can keep improving this animation, right? So when we remove the item, for example, down below there, it'll just kind of directly move over there. It's not very nice. We want to make it kind of smoothly move into its position. How to do that? It's just one prop, I think. Let's see if it actually works. Line number 81. Which is called layout, which means that you want to animate its layout when its layout changes. And let's see if it works. Yeah, so it moves up, right, instead of immediately appear at that location. And this layout is actually pretty powerful. Like you notice that we didn't use any like kind of absolute X or Y positioning or anything. This is just directly coming from CSS, right? I believe this this team grid, this class name, this is just let's see. As I said, I just stole the code, and let's see if it's actually team members. It's not team member. What is it called? Team grid. Team grid. So it's a grid view, CSS grid. So all the positioning coming from it comes from CSS, but you know, FrameMotion still knows how to animate them, which is pretty powerful, I think. And the last bit is that we want this guy, you know, move to that position as well. I think that was that's Animate shared layout, which I don't think I have enough time to cover today, but I will add it anyway. Yeah, let's add that animate shared layout, which is another component. This is a new component that's available in this FrameMotion version 2, which means where do we want to add that? I think we want to add it right here, line number 93. So wrap everything that we want to consider, like you know, as a shared layout. Of course, we need to convert this motion this guy, and let's see if that makes a difference. I think it should. At least actually stay, right? So it's kind of different from the previous one. And let's add this layout prop to make this H2 of be aware of its layout change and animate it accordingly. See, it actually comes from the above, because like originally before this item is removed, that this H2 actually is way over here, right? It's just out of the page, and we can do the same treatment to this title, to this text box, and I think we will need to add this layout. Okay, refresh. Let's move here. Look at this two text. Yeah, it actually moves from the top, right? So that's the kind of the full example that I want to show. It actually went slower than I thought. But do you have any questions so far? We have a few minutes to cover some questions. If you have any questions, put it in the comment, or else we're gonna call it a day. I think there's some comment there. Once we animate presents, I'm pretty sure that you must define. Yeah. Thanks, Tony. That's exactly the problem. There's a question coming from Sean. The layout part in the code. This layout prop, right? So if it's this layout prop, maybe let me just remove it to see the effect without it. Line number 81, I just removed that one. So although this is a motion div, so this is a motion div, and let's see the result and see what does it look like. Now if I remove that, it'll immediately jump to its target location instead of animating there. So what we want is to kind of smoothly move it to its maybe this one is more obvious, right? So just instantly just jump to its target location. So if we want to animate an item when its position change, we can add this layout prop. Now let's refresh that. Now I add it back, and we can see it actually moves over there instead of instantly moving to its original place. Yeah, this layout is a prop. It's not anything that you need to import. It's just that you need to put it inside a motion div, a motion component or motion tag to be able to use this layout prop. So another question is it possible to set a hook value in the while hover? What does that mean, Tony? Hook value. Did you mean that you have some state right here which is a number or something that you can use it in like a variable right here? If that's totally possible, right? Let's say const scale, set scale, use state maybe 2, and then you can put a scale there. Scale, okay. Or you can just use the scale there. I think it's gonna become bigger. And this is because this is coming from a state, and you can change the state to make it different. Alright, so I think I am out of time. So yeah, if you have more questions, and I can answer, or you can just email me. And as you can see, this example, actually I didn't really write most of the code, which saved me a lot of time. So thanks a lot for, actually it was Tony who provided this project. So thank you, Tony, for a lot for providing this. And also, if you want to see something being built in this manner, I built it basically. I didn't spend a lot of time preparing it. And if this is useful for you, just send me what you want to build, and send me an email, and I will do it in the show. All right. Okay, thank you so much, and have a good weekend. Bye bye.